It's never too late to show the truth. This is what's coming to Mexico and United States. There is a tiny portion, like a 2%, 3% of all of these migrants that are educated. And if not educated, respectful, that they want to work. But these guys, they want to party. They want to party, have fun, and live it like if it's a fucking vacation. Someone is screaming, fuck her. Oh my god, these fucking guys are. Ah, dude, these. I'm sorry to say it, but when it comes to words, I'm very direct sometimes. And right now, I have to say that that's some savage shit right there. You know what? That's muy salvaje. That's some crazy shit, bro. We'll just go on with the video.
Imágenes de cómo los migrantes hondureños y salvadoreños estaban en Ayutla, San Marcos, haciendo fiesta y disturbios en el parque central de la localidad. Esto ocurrió desde la noche del viernes. Entre bailes subidos de tono, licor y otras sustancias, decenas de migrantes provocaron desorden y alboroto en el municipio.
Alright, so remember yesterday I posted a video where Mexicans were fighting back the immigrants from coming through the bridge to their area, to, you know, where they live at. And now the Guatemalans on their side are like, you know what, F that too. If Mexicans stood up, then we're going to stand up too. Why? Because in their neighborhood, well, the people that live in the park right there in Ayutla, this happened. They started partying, like literally partying with drugs, alcohol. And God knows what other type of drugs. But the point is that it's past 12, and these fuckers are over here partying with loud music, like if it's their city, like if it's their neighborhood, like if they know the neighbors. Right here in Mexico, even if you know the neighbors, you have respect for yourself and for them. Oh, you know what? It's who cares if it's a Saturday, Sunday? Like, well, you know what? They probably gonna do something tomorrow. Let's stop the party at 12. You know, probably at 1, but lower the music. We have respect. Yeah, there's gonna be some Mexicans out there that, you know what, they party because they got a lot of money and they, you know, they want to flash off. But nah, bro, this right here is different. Like, these guys are immigrants. They don't live here. They don't live there, and they're over here partying like if they fucking live there, man. And I'm sorry I'm saying so much bad words, but it is what it is, guys. Like this is the type of thing that gets me mad. I already told my wife, you know what, I'm gonna start making that letter. Because someone needs to stand up. Someone needs to talk about this. Look at that. Muy necesitados. So this is the morning now. This is the day after the party, or that day in the day. And the Guatemalan people are pissed. They're pissed off, bro. Like, what the hell? These guys are just... Think about it. Guatemala is basically like the passing country. It's like Mexico. You know, Mexico is the passing country to go to the United States. But Guatemala is the center where all these migrants come and gather up, unite, and then go to Mexico.
Es por ello que la tarde del domingo, los pobladores cansados decidieron expulsar a los miembros de esta caravana.
Reporter just said that because of the reason that they were partying, citizens of Guatemala that lived in that area gathered together to expel this individual caravan, this migrant caravan that you know, that was found right there. Honestly, I don't know how they're gonna feel about the next caravans, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be how you think of it and how I think of it against them, because they're tired too. They're tired too of seeing this shit. There's crackheads that come and stay sometimes in their cities to just take a break and then go, you know, continue their. But it's hell, bro. It's hell. Vale madre.
piedras.
All right, so I think that's a Mexican right there too, huh? That's a Mexican right there too. Oh
Los
no.
enfrentamientos se registraron en el puente fronterizo Rodolfo Robles.
So in the Rodolfo Robles, I think it's the same bridge where the Mexicans took them out. Now the Guatemalans are helping the Mexicans, I guess. You know what? Yeah, the Mexicans are right. Let's kick these guys out. We need to kick these guys out. We need to show them who's boss around here. And that's exactly what they need to do. That's exactly what needs to happen. Because si dejan todos estos, you know, if they let all these fuckers start coming without anybody saying shit, well, that's what happens. That party's going to go on. And then another party's going to go on. Like, oh, you know what? Los apoderamos de aquí. Like, they're going to be like, oh, we're in charge of here now. Hell no, bro.
Decenas de migrantes corrieron debido a que se resistían a desalojar el lugar.
Okay, so it didn't become aggressive instantly. It wasn't like that, all right? The migrants, they were trying to hold their ground, like, no, we're going to stay right here, we're going to pass. So the Guatemalans got pissed, like, oh, hell no, bro, you're not going to do what you want. And they started throwing rocks and getting down with them. They started, you know, being aggressive then.
Mientras tanto, algunos decidieron cruzar a México por el río Suchiate, otros por el puente fronterizo. Y hubo quienes se fueron al albergue habilitado para su atención.
All right. So there's some migrants that crossed the Rio Suchiate, another, I'm guessing illegally, right? And then there's other ones that crossed the international bridge between Guatemala and Mexico, and some even left to go stay at the shelter, to be attended at the shelter. That's crazy, man. I think those are Guatemalans and Mexicans, bro.
Mientras tanto, los vecinos indican que la medida tomada era necesaria para buscar la tranquilidad y la limpieza del municipio.
Damn.
Por lo que posterior a esta expulsión, las autoridades de la comuna y los vecinos limpiaron el lugar, recobrando el ornato en su localidad.
So, all right. So after they kicked them out, as you can see, the town started cleaning, cause that's how dirty this shit is. That's how dirty these people are. And I hate talking about, like, you know, I hate talking against people, but you know, it is what it is, my boys. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're seeing it like everywhere. Tijuana, through Mexico, different states where they cross, first caravan, it doesn't matter. You see this new caravan, you seen the bridge where they're getting kicked off, the whole bridge is dirty. They don't care about where they throw the trash. They don't care about what happens. They actually do drugs in front of people, in front of police. They don't care. They don't care. That's why I'm telling you, there's a small 3% of the whole caravan that these guys are actually, you know, carrying and wanting to do work, wanting to work and better their life. But the other 95, 94, 96%, they're here to party and live off of us, man. You know what? It is what it is. I'm gonna check it out. The people have been getting violent, and if not violent, they're just getting rebellious on the Mexican police. So see, this is the problem. These guys want to forcefully stay right there close to the border gates, right there, international port of entry. But it's not going to have it their way. They're foreigners on Mexican soil, and the Mexicans already have a different shelter for them. So they have to move whether they want it or not. But they decided to stay, and this is what happened when they decided to stay.
En Tijuana con la caravana migrante. ¿Y qué está ocurriendo por allá en este reporte de última hora, Elizabeth?
¿Qué tal, Ana Paula? Muy buenas tardes. Pues comentarte que están bastante tensas las cosas aquí afuera del Deportivo Benito Juárez.
She's saying that things are tense right here. Stadium of Benito Juárez. Today, the last 2 buses came here to relocate the migrants to the new stadium or shelter called the Baretal. But there's there's a woman leader in this migrant caravan group that was inciting them to protest and stay there. So they were confronted by state police and what we call here pepos, and some are being detained. Man, look at the trash. You seen the trash that they passed back there? So the Mexican officials are cleaning up after them because it's enough. There is so many trash. They knew that they're gonna get sick. It was gonna have to be quarantined later on. So that's why they had to relocate these people. But look, they're putting up resistance because they don't want to do what the officials want them to do. Look at that, they're forcing her in there. Damn. So this person right here is being detained for inciting, publicly inciting violence. Look at that, guys. It's pretty tense out there in Tijuana right now, is what the reporter's saying. And I agree. I mean, a bunch of Hondurans and Migrant Caravan watching this, of course they're going to be like, oh no, they can't do this to us. And of course they're going to want to rebel. So this is dangerous. But this is just the few steps that Mexico has to do to contain and control this migrant problem. Reporters are saying that she is really putting up a resistance. Yes, she is. So she is a part of the Migrant Caravan? Okay, and there's a lot of people saying that she's actually there to illegally, bring these people into the United States. So she's saying that she is not. She's saying that she is just part of the Migrant Caravan. Look at the resistance that lady is putting. Just get in the damn truck. Look at that. I hope you guys remember that cop right there, that Mexican cop right there. He's so cool. Good thing that he's right there. That guy with the glasses, yeah. So nobody knows if that lady is Mexican or if she lives in Mexico. The woman that they're detaining right now. But she was caught in the Benito Juarez area, the place where they're relocating to the Bateral. They were caught in the old camp. She was caught in the old camp trying to incite people and protest to stay there. What the hell is going on? Freedom, 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 liberty. They're screaming freedom and liberty? What? Get in the truck, lady. What's wrong? Oh my. She did not just... Yeah, manhandle that. No, she didn't. Oh, and and she's going with them. Oh yeah, she's gonna have a bad time with those lady cops. Oh yeah, bad time with those lady cops.
Esperando a que lleguen sus compañeros y ver si se van a los albergues o van a permanecer aquí. 30,000, como 30,000 gente. ¿Qué van a hacer 30 pendejos con 30,000 gente? 30,000. Nos vamos a acribillar. Con esta gente que estamos los acribillamos.
Imagínate. Look at that shit. Alright, guys. Don't mind that weird photo with the head, the forehead, and this, bullseye-looking target on the head. In this video, some of you guys have seen it, some of you guys haven't. In this video, it talks about migrants, Hondurans, or young migrants from Honduras. I don't really care, bro. Immigrants killed a Mexican for renting them a house, and they didn't want to pay the rent. And you know what? I'm gonna just translate what I saying. But yeah, dude, hold on.
La renta y,
So
lo que encontró fue la muerte. Hasta donde se sabe parece que fue un par de jóvenes hondureños.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, so this guy that owned the house, he rented the house to some young Hondurans, and then when he came to charge him for the rent, they killed him. They cut his neck. They slit his throat.
El reporte más reciente que tenemos que pues les daba rentada esta vivienda, la que ven con puertas y ventanas de color rojo.
So he's talking about the house right there that has a like a burgundy brownish type of door and window right there on the right side next to the pole.
Vino a cobrar la renta y pues la persona fue asesinada. De los jóvenes responsables no se tiene.
What the fuck is wrong with his camera? Alright, fuck it. You know what? So that's what I wanted to show you guys. You know what I mean?
Fuck these immigrants. And I'm tired of all this shit. Like, honestly, I'm really tired of seeing these fuckers come into Mexico and disrespecting Mexico and thinking they are the fucking leaders right here when they're just foreigners, visitors. Because they're not even coming to stay in Mexico. They're going to the United States. Check this shit out. For the people that can talk Spanish and read Spanish, if you're reading this already, then you already know what I'm gonna talk about. But for those Americans, for the people that don't speak English, speak Spanish or read Spanish, let me translate this for you. In this post from Guerrero, I'm gonna start from the top. Hondurans burn the Mexican flag and say the actions that AMLO has taken are stupid. The Embassy of Mexico in Guatemala informed the migrants, Honduran migrants, that they have to show identification to the authorities, Mexican authorities, so they can begin to register each and every one of them, whoever wants to get into the country, that is, and also so they can identify them and check if they have criminal history or criminal crimes pending. The Hondurans, from their part, reacted in a bad way with talking shit about the Mexicans and the people at the consulate of Mexico. So they're just going against Mexico, period, because fuck it, let me keep reading it. Irineo Mujica, leader of the Pueblo Sin Fronteras, commented that the actions of Andres AMLO are stupid. And they're even challenging the Mexican authorities, saying that entramos porque entramos. We're going in because we're going in. These are the photos.
So right there, they're planning strategically how to put the men in the back of the line of the caravan and put the women and children in the front so they could look helpless. You know what I mean? So they could look like, oh, look, there's a lot of women and children, families. It was all an act, and you guys knew it. We knew it. And they're screaming out slogans, supposedly, that is going to make them look good, like a good image. They're screaming out that we're not killers, we're not criminals, they're killing us, and that we're the hope of Latin America. These guys, come on, please, whatever.
Todo iba bien, hasta que llegó otro grupo de hombres, supuestos migrantes que salieron desde Honduras, quienes habían guiado la caravana.
So everything was going good until Honduran migrants from Honduras, I guess, caused problems. And they don't want the camera to see.
Los sujetos comenzaron a quitarle los chalecos verdes a quienes ostentaban como guías de pueblos sin fronteras.
Oh shit. So they're taking the yellow vests from the people that are guiding the caravan. So these Hondurans are like, now we're gonna be in charge. I just heard Mara. That's Salvatrucha's MS-13. They're there. These guys must be drunk or high because they're saying that the Pueblos Sin Fronteras are actually guiding them to be, they're gonna turn them over to the authorities so it could be deported. That's what I'm thinking that he's saying. He's saying, you know what, we're gonna take the control because these guys are guiding us so we could get deported. That's retarded. All right, so the Hondurans, I guess, are saying that we're not going to let other people talking about Pueblos Sin Fronteras guide them to a trap, basically. That's weird, right? I thought Pueblos Sin Fronteras was helping them. And here they are having problems within their own selves. This has always happened in them. For real. Every time they go in a caravan, there's always problems inside, within themselves.
Las discusiones se dispersaron por todo el frente de la caravana.
Damn. Look how violent they are, bro. Look how aggressive these fuckers are. You know what I mean? He's saying that guy's a politician. We're not politicians. We're coming here to get help. You know, we're actually trying to get to the United States by asylum, and these guys are just doing their own plans for political reasons.
mientras que otro grupo de jóvenes armados con palos amedrentaban por momentos a la prensa. Insistían en su derecho de guiar la caravana y decidir su trayecto sin consignas políticas.
So remember that plan that they had from the beginning of the video where, you know what, girls and families in the front and men in the back? Well, these guys are like, nah, fuck that. We're going to go in the front. The men, you know, the ones that could be aggressive and violent, we're going to go in the front. That's basically how it rolls. It's that deal, the gorilla with a bone. You know what I mean? The gorilla with a bone is going to win everybody else. It's that mentality. They're being that, you know, big cock type of shit. Wow. So just because they don't know them, they don't want them to be in the front. He said that. Why are they running then? They ran away. The people that they from Pueblos y Fuerzas, I guess they, you know, los corrieron. They said, nah, fuck that, get out of here. Or not even get out of here. They just took control, and they're saying, oh, well, they're running. Why are they running then? If they have nothing to fear, no problem, then why are they running? They're running because you guys have fucking sticks, you dumb fucking piece of shit. They're running because you guys are in a group, and you guys could kill them. There's no cops right there. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are fucking retarded, bro. Stupid ass motherfucker.
Al final, quienes se decían integrantes perdieron la disputa por guiar a la caravana de 1.500 migrantes. Y los ganadores simplemente se perdieron en la oscuridad y apretaron el paso. El resto de los migrantes no replicaron nada, solo siguieron sus órdenes.
Yo sé que no es fuerza que le den de comer a uno, ¿verdad? No es fuerza. Y la verdad, pues la comida que están dando aquí es fatal. Miren, bueno, miren lo que están dando. Miren, puros frijoles molidos como que fueran, como que estuvieran dando de comer a los chanchos. Y la verdad, pues, ni modo, hay que comerse esa comida porque si no, nos morimos de hambre.
We're gonna watch that video one more time, because what's up with that, bro? Oh my goodness, bro. You know what, fuck it, you guys already know. Yeah, bro. That's done. Sorry, it wasn't clear to me. So, is it $50,000 for the whole caravan or for each one? It's $50,000 for every person, and this time frame was 72 hours to receive a response from the government. So they're saying that they gave the U.S. government 72 hours to decide whether yes or no, and if they said no, the reporter's telling you what's going to happen. Like, what's the worst that can happen if they say no? So I'm pretty sure, because here in Mexicali, people cross by just by jumping the fences sometimes and breaking through, like I showed you guys.
So I'm pretty sure Tijuana is having the same problem. So this right here that you're seeing right now, this is just a small glimpse of what's really happening. Those 3,000 disappeared, they probably already went to the United States. Like this, illegal crossing, and surrendering themselves to the CBP. This is happening by the hour, guys. This is not just they caught these guys jumping, no. This is happening by the hour. I know this for a fact. And there you guys have it. Credits to VOA. Catch you guys later.
Sí, sí. Quiere que vamos a apoyar.
The Mexican authorities have been advised, so I would advise you to not assist them in any way.
My agents say that you are assisting. So I'll just tell you that you should not be engaged in that because that's a felony in the United States. Okay, we can charge it as a misdemeanor or a felony.
We understand that, but we are not. I don't see anybody here.
Okay, well, I was told. I don't know who it was because I wasn't here.
I'm not saying that.
I'm just saying that if you come to the United States, we could conceivably get a arrest warrant for whoever was doing that.
Agárralo.
Sí, este pie, pasalo para acá. Aquí.
Agárralo, güey.
Pásame ese maletín, porfa. Coge la zapatilla. Please. No, el maletín, el maletín.
Háblale, Alexis.
Pásale el maletín. Es mío. Here. Please.
Now in your Crime Watch tonight, Aurora police are asking for the public's help in locating several people who were involved in tearing down an American flag outside an ICE detention facility and flying a Mexico flag.
It happened during protest at the facility where hundreds showed up to demonstrate against potential ICE raids announced earlier in the week. The group trespassed on facility property and stole the American flag, and they say the suspects also tried to burn it once it was on the ground. They released these pictures of the people they think are responsible, and police are offering up to $4,000 for information leading to an arrest. We've posted this for you, KOAA.com, if you want to take a closer look. You'll also find contact information for Aurora PD.
Aurora police have an update on this protest at the ICE facility last Friday. A group removed 3 flags on the property, including the U.S. flag, and that same group also tried to burn Old Glory. Well, this afternoon, police released pictures of these suspects. Get a good look. If you know them or anything about this crime, you are asked to call police. And there is now a reward for anyone with information leading to
from the U.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement raided Chicago this weekend in search of undocumented immigrants. Leaders in Illinois, including the governor, have called on the state to stand against the crackdown. But some lawmakers say it's wrong to do that. WCIA3's Gabrielle Franklin joins us live from our Capitol newsroom. So, Gabrielle, what are these lawmakers saying exactly about the governor's position?
Well, Paul, lawmakers supporting the raids say that the governor's opposition is, quote, inappropriate. Now, over this weekend, Governor Pritzker and Attorney General Kwame Raoul renewed their call to protect immigrant families. The governor tweeting, "The state of Illinois will not coordinate with ICE on federal immigration enforcement," reminding everyone he signed a bill prohibiting local law enforcement agencies from engaging in enforcement with ICE agents. But some area Republicans are crying foul against the governor's renewed call to make Illinois a welcoming state.
They're not representing the people of Illinois, and that's the problem. They're representing a small group of people that have this agenda trying to bring down this country through illegal immigration. The vast majority of people in this state, legal immigrants, people, hardworking people, families that are trying to make a living, understand illegal immigration is bad.
Now, Calkins is a part of the group Fight for 51. Those are lawmakers that are calling for Chicago to be its own state. Several leaders speaking out in front of the ICE raids do hail from Chicago. He says this issue only intensifies their call. Now, some Chicago area lawmakers did canvass with business communities to inform owners about how to defend their rights if ICE agents do try to raid their establishments. Paul?
All right, Gabrielle, thanks. Now, ICE raids were slated to take place in 10 major U.S. cities across the U.S., Chicago among them. Immigration advocacy groups say few immigrant apprehensions took place. The raids that could still materialize in the coming days are said to be targeting 2,000 immigrants.
In news around Georgia, protesters gathered outside an immigration and customs office in downtown Atlanta to call for an end to planned immigration raids. One protester handcuffed himself to the fence outside the ICE building. The demonstration was organized by a group of Jewish Americans who equate what's happening at border detention centers with the encampment of Jews during World War II. Protesters called for politicians to shut down ICE immediately and ensure safety for people coming to the U.S. The ICE raids were supposed to start Sunday, but no major raids have been reported as of yet. The group said it is planning similar protests in other cities.
Well, meantime, a Texas House Democrat is finding herself in some hot water over a recent report her staff is coaching migrants across the border from Mexico. One America's Neil W. McCabe reports from Washington.
Freshman House Democrat Veronica Escobar is an adamant critic of President Donald Trump, and now there are reports that the Texas Democrat staff is actively helping migrants get across the border from Mexico. Escobar is the protege and successor of presidential candidate Robert Francis Beto O'Rourke, who left his House seat to run for the U.S. Senate in 2018. O'Rourke endorsed Escobar to succeed him when she was still serving as an elected El Paso County judge. In March, when O'Rourke announced his candidacy for president, Escobar was part of the rally and endorsed him immediately. Now Escobar is generating headlines based on the report in the Washington Examiner that her staff is actively undermining President Donald Trump's new Remain in Mexico policy, which has asylum-seeking migrants wait for their hearings in Mexico. The Examiner quoted border enforcement officers who described how Escobar staffers went into Ciudad Juarez, the Mexican city across the border from El Paso, Texas, and tracked down thousands of migrants sent to Mexico to await their hearings and coached them how to try again. The officers said the staffers exploited two loopholes in the president's policy, teaching the migrants to go back to the El Paso port of entry, now claiming that they did not understand Spanish, or to claim health challenges that demanded immediate attention. Federal law forbids Americans from facilitating illegal immigration with a maximum sentence of 5 years. After the Examiner story, National Public Radio interviewed Escobar about her bill to defund the Remain in Mexico policy, and she talked about her own visits to Ciudad Juarez.
We had a case recently of a woman who was sent back, a 20-year-old woman who was sent back via MPP to Mexico after having waited in line, stayed in detention, sent back to Mexico. She was kidnapped and brutally gang raped. I mean, they are an absolutely desperate and dangerous situation. The purpose of my legislation is to ensure that no federal dollars go toward enforcing what I consider an unconstitutional policy by the administration, because it exacerbates the misery of people who are legally seeking asylum.
While Escobar is working in her own way to undermine Trump policies, her husband, Michael Bleeder, serves as an administrative law judge for the Justice Department's Executive Office of Immigration Review. This sets up the scenario where potentially a congresswoman and her staff are conspiring with migrants to get them into the country, and then their asylum hearing is held in her husband's administrative courtroom. One American News reached out to the Congresswoman's office in Washington with phone calls and email, but there was no reply before deadline. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is expanding the Remain in Mexico policy with a potential agreement with Guatemala that would have Guatemalans and other migrants passing through Guatemala stay in that country until their hearing. Neil W. McCabe, One American News.
In your judgment and your professional experience, do walls work?
Unquestionably.
So if I understand it correctly, San Diego, the wall there was built in 1992. Illegal traffic dropped 88% over 18 years and 95% over 23 years. We saw the same experience in El Paso. In El Paso, the wall was built in 1993. Illegal traffic dropped 72% over 1 year and 95% over 22 years. Same thing in Tucson, wall built in 2000. Illegal traffic dropped 90% over 15 years. Yuma, the wall was built in 2005. Illegal traffic dropped 95% over 4 years. Are those figures accurate?
Yes, Senator.
And does that reflect your professional experience that putting a physical barrier can have a significant impact decreasing and stopping illegal immigration?
Yes.
And that's both for human traffickers and narcotics traffickers?
No question.
Capacity. It has been the position of some congressional Democrats that in order to keep families together, what CBP must do is release both the children and the adults. I think that is a mistaken approach. The legislation that I've introduced, that I have been negotiating with Senator Feinstein, would mandate that families stay together, but stay together in a secure environment, and then expedite the proceedings. So that if those families have a valid claim for asylum, that claim gets adjudicated quickly and granted. But if they don't have a valid claim of asylum, that claim gets adjudicated quickly, it gets denied, and they get put on a plane and sent home. In your experience, what is the effectiveness of a catch and release system, a system that apprehends people crossing illegally and then releases them?
It invites further unlawful behavior.
And what is the differential in terms of the timing for adjudicated cases between the detained docket, where the individual is in custody, versus the non-detained docket where they're released?
Detained docket, in my experience, moves very efficiently, 6 to 8 weeks. The non-detained docket is years.
One of the significant challenges with our current policy is we have now created massive incentives to bring kids with you because we have essentially turned a child into a get-out-of-jail-free card. To what extent are you seeing conduct from cartels deliberately bringing either unaccompanied minors or family units over with the intention of gaming the system in the United States?
So I can tell you, Senator, that in the last 10 months, as Chief Hastings briefed yesterday, Border Patrol has identified approximately 1,700 individuals that presented as a family unit that had made fraudulent claims. And even more concerning, there was reporting this week of attorneys advising people on how to do this in Central America and providing fake birth certificates, fake indications of relationship before they depart from Central America to enable this process. You're absolutely right that if you bring a child, you will be released. You're immune from the enforcement of the law between ports of entry, and that's not a situation that's sustainable.
So let me underscore that point because it's, I think, really quite stunning. So you've seen in excess of 1,700 cases where children were with adults, you were told they were a family unit and you discovered that was fraudulent, so whoever those adults were, they were not actual family members of those kids.
Correct.
And let me ask you, if a child is in the custody of a human trafficker or a narcotics trafficker, how frequently are you encountering physical abuse or sexual abuse of those children in the custody of traffickers?
It's unfortunately a very common occurrence.
So if we were concerned with taking care of kids, we would want to do everything possible to prevent little boys and little girls from being in the custody of traffickers who are fraudulently using those kids to game our law enforcement. Is that right?
Of course.
Well, thank you for your good work in that regard.
Thank you.